Do you want to go climb a rock? How about getting into a canoe with Santa Claus? You'll find out how to do that on St. Louis in Tune. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and we thank you for joining us for fresh perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who are driving change and making an impact that shapes our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with co-host Sniffles, Mark Langston.
I know. My allergies are just raging. The thing about it, though, is if you're in our business, in the radio business, it gives you a much deeper voice, you know what I mean?
And that's always good.
It does. Sometimes it does. Yes, all right.
You could sing bass now.
No, really. I know. I have my cough switch ready to go, so I can turn it off if I have to cough.
Okay.
Or sneeze.
The sneeze button?
I've had some good sneezes here lately, so I would say back off if you see me raring up here a little bit. But yeah, I know. I don't know what it is.
It's the mold count.
It is. It's global warming. But
and it's this time of the year when things change.
Boy, they are changing, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of change, I'm going to give my own, I'm just going to do a spur of the moment return to civility.
Oh, wow. All right. This is an ad lib?
I'm not going to read one. This is an ad lib.
Okay. All right. I'm sitting down.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody take a chill pill.
Ooh.
Return to civility. Everybody take a chill pill.
You think? Can we do that? I don't.
Yeah, we're coming out of an election, and which made some people happy and some people sad, and some people elated and some people depressed.
A lot of anxious things.
And a lot of anxious people, probably on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
And I would just say everybody needs to take a chill pill. Mark and I were talking before the show. Our country has endured quite a bit over the course of its history.
Yeah.
You just think of one major event, the Civil War.
Oh, my.
And how states actually renounced their participation in the United States of America.
Right.
And there was a whole lot of hatred going on and a whole lot of nonsense as it relates to rioting and how people were taking care of other people or not taking care of them and how they were destructive. We had a real race thing going on back then, and it was all about slavery, no matter what the South says.
Right.
So our country has endured a lot. We came out of that because of the leadership of President Abraham Lincoln and other people. And we do look to leadership, and I'm not going to make any comments about that.
Okay.
But I'm making comments to the citizenry who really are the country.
And you have to say they voted the way they wanted to vote. The vote is the vote.
Right.
And if we're going to live here and be here, we got to accept that. Sometimes you don't like the outcome. I think we'll survive, though. Some people say, oh, no, it's going to be, we're done, we're doomed. But I don't buy that. I don't believe in that.
No, I don't either.
I think I think we could screw things up pretty good, but I think we can also fix things as well.
I would encourage people to always be informed and to think and to read both sides. And we talked about this in previous episodes about listening to both sides of the news, reading both sides of what people write, and forming an opinion of your own, not just hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. I can only be hopeful that will happen.
Yes.
A lot of hope on that front.
Return to civility, take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill.
And that's figurative, folks.
Okay.
It's not literal.
It's not like a square pill or
it's not
round or
diagonal
horse pill that you have to blow down your throat.
It's just take deep breaths, and this too shall pass.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Amen, brother.
But what won't pass
what?
is our guest here today, Brad Kovach. He's Deputy Director at River City Foundation and the publisher at Terrain Magazine. He's a professional writer, editor, publisher, creative project manager with over 25 years of experience working across multiple media platforms. The primary focus he has is to create engaging and informative content that provides exceptional experiences for the target audience and drives business results. I love that's the ultimate put together of what you are, Brad. And he's here to talk to us about the upcoming show that's going to be taking place at the St. Charles Convention Center, which is the Gateway Outdoor Expo. Brad, welcome back to St. Louis in Tune.
Thank you for having me again. Appreciate being here.
2024, open to the public, free parking. And you've moved from, and we were talking off air, from Collinsville to St. Louis to Tower Grove Park. You were at the Dome, and now you're out at St. Charles. The evolution of that, tell us why.
We're unintentionally migrating west, it seems.
Go west, young man.
Yeah, last year was the big move for us. We moved from being an indoor show for a number of years, then moved outdoor to Tower Grove Park, which was really fun from the idea of having an outdoor expo outdoors. And the problem was it was a beautiful venue, beautiful park, beautiful people to work with at Tower Grove. The weather was not beautiful for us. It knocked down half the show for us, and we felt that it wasn't the experience that we wanted to give to the vendors and the attendees, of course. This year, we're going back indoors, trying to get back to a guaranteed climate control environment is the way I'm looking at it. And yeah, we will be at the St. Charles Convention Center, and what's great there is not only is the Expo public open and free to the public, but yes, they do have free parking. They have great guest services there. Along with being in a area where we don't have to worry about the weather knocking out the show.
Right.
We'll be able to create, I think, some fun services for folks coming in to experience the expo.
That sounds great. That is going to be, folks, November the 22nd. That's a Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Saturday the 23rd. And Sunday the 24th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you have the Gateway Outdoor Expo going on. And give people an understanding about what's the whole expo about, because there might be some people new to the area, or maybe they would like to go and they've never been, and let's tease them out a little bit there.
Sure. So the weekend actually consists of two things that I would like to explain. So on Friday, we have the Gateway Outdoor Summit. Is what we call it. It's more of a conference-style event. It is open to the public as well, but it's more geared toward folks who are stakeholders in outdoor rec. So maybe it's parks and rec people, it's government officials, elected officials, it's municipalities being able to come in, and we have a really lively discussion. We have a number of sessions that take place throughout that afternoon, each one with its own topic, but it's really geared toward being a discussion about expanding outdoor recreation in the St. Louis region and how we can get more people outside, remove barriers, develop new projects, those sorts of things. That's on Friday from 1 to 5, which you mentioned. And then on Saturday and Sunday is the expo, which is, as you would guess from the name, is more of an exhibition where we have exhibitors. We expect to have 150 plus booths. And that can be anything from vendors who are selling outdoor gear, whether it's bikes, shoes, those sorts of things, to organizations that are sharing information about what they do. And then other events sometimes come to our events. So maybe it's a marathon or a bike race or something else, and they want to reach people and share information about signing up for their events. So it's really a broad number and style of folks who come there. But it's a lot of fun. We build in also a lot of activities, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about a little bit more here in detail. We want it to be fun for families and active, so not just coming and looking to buy things or collect information, but actually participate in some activities.
What's your attendance like? You've been moving around a lot.
Yeah, it does fluctuate, but I think we feel pretty good about saying between 6,000 and 8,000 people is what we typically get.
That's a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And growing.
Yeah.
And yes. I think you've steadily been growing, haven't you, every year?
Yeah, we have over the years, which is some of the reason why we've also moved. We've outgrown some of the spaces that we've been in the past, so it's really trying to find a space now that can host all the booths and the folks that we're bringing in.
I love the free parking.
Yeah.
You got me there.
Yeah. We've heard a lot over the years. You get a lot of feedback, and being downtown over the course of a few different years has been amazing. But people say, hey, we have to pay to park. Vendors have to pay. Attendees have to pay. And we want to remove every barrier we can possibly so that people can come out, not spend money to come to our show.
Right.
If they want to spend money at the show, that's great.
Right.
But whatever we can do to get people in.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Kudos.
We talked about at the front end of the show about go climb a rock. So you're going to have a 23-foot tall rock climbing wall.
Yes. That is Upper Limits. They come most years to the show. They've been great partners for us, and kids love climbing that wall.
Oh, yeah.
So all of the
Arnold's
safety.
a belay. I don't know if you knew that. He's a official belay.
Okay.
Belay.
Yeah. Do you know what a belay is?
I belay that.
No.
That's how I would use it.
I'm a belay.
Belay that command.
I'm a certified belay. Yeah.
Is that you hold the rope?
That's
for
the guy.
somebody
That's
else?
right.
Yeah.
That's the person that holds the rope. That's
Okay.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the safety person.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Safety Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to you do training for that too.
You do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, the wall they have at the expo, which a nice facet of that is it's auto belay. So you don't have to rely
like
on
those, yeah.
a person. You are the machinery, or for lack of a better word, is built in there.
And
so,
it works fine. They work fine. Yeah. It's fun to do. I've never climbed like that before. We've done it in scouting, so we do some of that stuff.
I'd love to do that. I don't think my knees would allow me.
Oh, you'll be okay. You go up slow. It's not like you go running up the wall.
Right. Some of these
Take it
professionals
easy.
do that.
We're not doing that.
We're going slow, Arnold.
Now, what intrigued me was getting your photo taken with Santa Claus in a canoe.
It sounds dangerous. I think.
Is Santa in the front or the back?
Really, I have a good question.
I think Santa's in the back. It's the first year we've done this, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's a program called Canoe with Claus, which is actually hosted by one of our vendors called Big Muddy Adventures. And Big Muddy Adventures is a local outfitter, paddling outfitter. So they take people out on guided trips on the rivers around St. Louis. They do this program on their own every year, Canoe with Claus, and they typically host it maybe in their facility or partner with a restaurant or a bar and maybe have it there. This year we talked them into doing Canoe with Claus at the expo, which I think will be great because hopefully, again, kids and adults are coming in, getting their photos taken, and then could take it into Thanksgiving or put it on their Christmas card and send it out. Something to note there, it's from 1 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday is when we'll be doing Canoe with Claus.
Okay.
We didn't want to necessarily tie up the Big Muddy Adventure folks all day doing that. If you want to come and get your photo taken, make sure you're there from 1 to 3.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of those shots that you see about kids with Santa Claus and they're screaming or whatever, holding the kid outside the canoe. It's screaming.
It puts a whole different spin on it.
I know. I want to see Santa with a life jacket on. That's what.
I wonder if it's red.
We could probably make that happen.
Okay. I love it.
Or a big inner tube.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Santa went tubing. Okay.
Aye.
Fly casting demo. Wow. And I know about Orvis, and those are always fun to see those things happen.
And this is the first year for Orvis at our expo. They opened a shop, I think within the last 3 or 4 months in Richmond Heights. They were quick to jump on board with us as a sponsor and to want to host an activity, so we're really psyched about that. So yeah, they're hosting the fly casting demo, so I don't know specifically what that will look like, but I would imagine you're going to get some quick tips and techniques on about how to whip that fly out there and work the wrist and whatever crazy twirly stuff they do in the air. Should be fun to learn a little bit about it.
That's a technical term, crazy
it
twirly
is.
stuff.
You can see how deeply I am ingrained in the fly fishing culture.
Look that stuff up.
It's fun, though, to put on the waders
the
and go
language
out.
of the expo.
Tweet, whatever.
Mountain bike trial zone. And I'm just going to read some of these, and you can respond. A swim spa demo. You bring your own swimming suit. Wow.
That's also new this year. So we have a vendor, Hot Tubs of St. Louis, who are going to bring in a number of spas. One of them is a swim spa, which I equate to a treadmill for swimming. So you get the current coming at you, and you can just paddle forward but remain in place.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you are brave enough to jump in and want to try that, do bring a swimsuit, please.
Wow.
It's a family-friendly event. We don't want any birthday suits there. And if you are not interested in swimming, you can at least watch. They're going to have some demo swimmers, I think, on hand as well. And then we also, I believe, have worked with one of the other vendors, which is a scuba diving vendor called Waikiki. I believe they were talking with Hot Tubs of St. Louis to have a scuba diver in one of the spas.
Oh, wow.
So that you could just get a visual on what that might look like.
Get down there and float.
That's fun. Have you ever scuba dived?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yes,
I love
absolutely.
It. Yeah. Open water. I do the open water thing. I know.
120 feet.
Is that right?
Wow. Yeah.
You went that deep?
Yeah.
I was in Cancun, and we could only, I didn't know, but the Cancun, it's as clear as can be, it's only about 50 feet deep. That's about as deep as it gets.
Yeah.
Right there. I'm sorry. Go ahead. 125 feet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My head would be blowing up.
It was off
the pressure.
Virgin Islands, where the shelf just drops.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is that a special certification for that depth?
Yeah.
I'm only certified to 100 feet.
Okay, so you
took us
fibbed a little.
Took us a little lower.
Right. Oh,
Good for you.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, I did my certification with Waikiki a year or so ago, and it's been a lot of fun. We go out to Mermitt Springs. Have not been to Bon Terre Mine yet, but I want to go there.
Have a wetsuit or a dry suit for that one.
Do you? Yeah. I hear it's pretty cold, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a giveaway of gear. Prize packages are worth more than $1,200. There's some donated things. Then there's a scavenger hunt, a photo contest gallery.
Holy
Yep,
moly.
that was in, so Terrain Magazine each year hosts a photo contest. We just announced the winners in our November-December issue, which just came out. And for the first time, we're going to have poster-sized blow-ups of all the winners from the photo contest and making a little gallery at the expo. Just the folks who won get some recognition and to allow people to see a little art element along with the other vendors at the show.
That's neat. So you can get more information, folks. It's gatewayoutdoorexpo.com, gatewayoutdoorexpo.com. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis and Toon. We're talking to Brad Kovach. And Brad, you mentioned about Terrain Magazine. Tell folks a little bit about Terrain Magazine.
Yeah, so we're actually celebrating our 10th year this year. We are an outdoor recreation magazine that's based here in St. Louis, but we cover all of Missouri and southern Illinois, and then we do also branch a little bit into the surrounding states, but mostly we try to keep it regional to Missouri and southern Illinois. What that means is all the content that we write about and develop and show is all regional stuff. We want people to not necessarily go away to other parts of the country. We love Colorado, we love Appalachia, but there's so much here in Missouri and Illinois that people may not know about. So all of our content is focused on destinations.
Kind of like a weekend trip or a day trip.
Sure,
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, destinations and events and activities and people that you can know here so that when you're home, you don't feel left out of the outdoors. You can still get out and have a great time. So we're telling people all about that on a bi-monthly basis in the magazine.
I know there's a lot in Missouri. I get the magazine that the Missouri that puts
Conservation?
out Conservation, but Southern Illinois, I have no idea what's going on over there.
It's really a great
What are
place.
some examples that you could
Yeah,
give
Shawnee
listeners?
National Forest is, for me, a go-to. I'm there at least a few times a year. It's beautiful. I mean,
Really?
you get this northern, what they call the Illinois Ozarks, that northern Ozark topography, so still very hilly, beautiful foliage, great change of seasons. Now would be a great time to go get all the color. My favorite place there is Garden of the Gods, which a lot of people have probably heard of. Great rock formations, a little bit like Monument National Park out in Utah, Arizona area. Not the desert landscape, of course, but just these great rock formations that have been carved out by glaciers that you can go and hike around and tour. And a lot of great cabins and tree houses and just fun glamping opportunities out there as well. So that's a really great trip.
In Southern Illinois. Never knew. And it's not very far, so
No, within 2.5 hours.
that's great.
Yeah, I think about Johnson Shut-ins and Elephant Rocks
Right.
and Tom Sauk Mountain and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of that.
So biking, you're handling biking, climbing, hiking,
Yeah. Yeah, we truly,
camping or stuff?
We really try to cover all of it. But yeah, I guess what you might call traditional sports like running, biking, camping, hiking. And then we cover things like scuba diving and even hang gliding and paragliding. Really anything you can do outdoors in our area, we try to put our toe in there a little bit and at least share that information with people. It might not be for everyone. Not everybody wants to go parachuting. But if you do, you might be able to read about it in the magazine.
Yeah, have you been hang gliding or paragliding?
I have not, no. We've done stories on that. I personally have not gone.
You gotta-
What's the one where you have the big fan behind you? You sit down and it's got the canopy and you.
And you're individually going around, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
I've seen some of those around.
Yeah.
And I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you call that exactly.
Yeah, it's sitting down with a big fan and you.
I saw one so high, I thought he was probably in the flight path of a jet.
yeah.
I was like, dude, what's going on with you?
Yeah, that's kind of
You're a
scary.
little too high
Kind of
there.
scary. Sounds like fun though.
Oh, yeah. So that Terrain Magazine, folks, is TERAIN-MAG.com, terrain-mag.com. And then there's something that I don't think we've ever talked about, and you've been on the show a couple times here, is the River City Foundation. What is the River City Foundation and what do they do?
So River City Foundation is the nonprofit group that actually publishes Terrain Magazine and hosts the expo. We launched the foundation about a year and a half ago, I want to say, but we haven't really put the bullhorn out there yet because we really want to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row before we do. But essentially what we would like to do is collaborate, network with a lot of other folks here in town that are already doing outdoor sorts of programs and activities and act as a facilitator to bring those folks together and then connect them with youth groups, senior groups, school groups, faith-based groups, and really grow the outdoor community and culture here in St. Louis. in that respect. We don't necessarily have the capacity to create outdoor programming ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We do some things here and there, like the expo, like the magazine. We have small reader events. But if we really want to affect large change in St. Louis and really turn it into a large outdoor recreation community, we need to get our arms around everybody and help connect all those dots. So that's what River City Outdoors and the foundation wants to do. And so in the past few years, we've worked closely with rec centers and school groups around town. We were able in the last year to get 3,000 kids outside that previously didn't have any outdoor activities as part of their program. Again, we do that mainly with working with other groups. So I mentioned Big Muddy Adventures before, a canoe paddling guide service. We've had a bunch of kids get out with them. Or we've worked with other parks around town and been able, and like Upper Limits and the Rock Wall that we mentioned earlier, we've been able to get Upper Limits and other programs to come to different parks around town and then work with rec centers or school groups to get kids out there and get actively engaged in these programs and in these activities. You know, the hope being that the more that we can get these kids used to being outside on a repeating basis, that they internalize that, they take it to their home and their family, and when they're looking for things to do, they think hiking instead of maybe sitting inside and playing on the tablet or the phone or whatever.
Right.
So it's normalizing the outdoors in St. Louis and connecting all those dots and networking with everyone to make that happen. So that's more or less what River City Foundation is trying to do.
That's a huge thing because, man, I remember everybody had a bike. We were always constantly riding bikes or we were constantly outside. We never stayed inside unless it was raining heavily or it was snowing.
Yeah.
You know, and
had to
then
be
even
home.
snowing, we were out sledding.
Yeah, and you had to be home by the time the street lights turned on. Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you get your funding? How do you?
The foundation's a privately funded nonprofit, so
Okay.
we have some donors and some
Good.
folks who have been really good to us. We can also, of course, accept donations and go out and try to find some grants. We were lucky enough to have a grant a few years ago, which kind of kicked off the foundation from a group called Outdoor Foundation is the name of the national organization. The name of the grant is called the Thrive Outside Grant. And what that did was give a $300,000 grant to St. Louis, which we then facilitate. And part of that grant was specifically what we're trying to do, build this coalition of outdoor organizations to work together to help elevate outdoor recreation in St. Louis. And so we've been doing that for the past couple of years, and the grant was just renewed, I believe, for another year.
I think
we're
it's-
happy to have that happen.
I think it's great that you're going into schools, and are you going into North County, other schools where some of these young kids don't have an opportunity to do some of these things?
Yeah, that's definitely the key.
Okay, the little outreach going on there. Yep.
Yeah, that's, getting outside is really beneficial.
It is.
Not only for the exercise, but the vitamin D and
Right.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Getting, because you see kids, and you mentioned the electronics, they're constantly, there's no light going on, it's dark.
No.
They're just
Right.
gaming or doing whatever and not getting outside, that's why the pounds
Nothing
come on
like
the kids.
walking through a creek, if you ask me.
Oh
Right.
my gosh, yeah,
Right, that's how I
exploring
grew
a
up.
creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You know.
knowing which poison ivy plant to stay away from.
Okay.
All of them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And ultimately, the hope is that it's good for St. Louis, for civic pride, for the economy. Outdoor recreation can do a lot of good beyond
Right.
just the individual health and wellness of folks.
We're going to take a brief break, and we will come right back. We're going to talk more about some outdoor kinds of activities. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. Don't go away. This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune. The United States has a strong tradition of welcoming newcomers and refugees. The Welcome Corps is a new service opportunity for Americans inspired to welcome those seeking freedom and safety and in turn help strengthen their own communities. Welcome Corps is a public-private partnership that is inspired by what Americans represent to so many around the world, a beacon of hope and refuge. All it takes is a helping hand. Are you ready to learn more? Contact the International Institute of St. Louis at info@iistl.org or call 314-773-9090. That's info@iistl.org or call 314-773-9090. Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston. We're talking to Brad Kovach. He's the big cheese for the Gateway Outdoor Expo.
The big kahuna.
I like that.
The big kahuna.
Yes.
So GatewayOutdoorExpo.com,
Grand
terrain-mag.com, and rivercityfdn.org. But the Gateway Outdoor Expo, Saturday the 23rd, and Sunday, the 24th of November from 10 o'clock to 5, and then 10 o'clock to 4 at the St. Charles Convention Center. That's 1 Convention Center Boulevard. A great address. St. Charles Convention Center, 1 Convention Center Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's right before Thanksgiving.
Yes, it
Isn't
is.
It is.
Yes,
The weekend before Thanksgiving.
When you were talking about this, and this is how my brain goes, Mark, sometimes.
Oh,
It's-
well, we're still trying to figure that out.
He has no clue where I'm going with this.
No.
We talked about the swim spa demo. So I'm thinking about, you got this demo spa that puts out these jets where you can swim, but it would be better then to have the fly casting guy just standing there, and then Santa in the canoe inside there with the kids getting. So you got a fly fisherman going. You got Santa in the canoe paddling in this.
Right? It
That's
could
where
work.
my brain goes.
I also understand that Sasquatch might be in attendance at the expo, so you throw him in the mix.
Really?
And who knows what could happen.
Oh, my. Oh, I'm a Sasquatch fan, I'm telling you right now.
Come on out.
That's, yeah. Arnold, no Speedo, though. We got to tell you that right now.
I don't know. That's okay.
Thanks for clarifying that. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sasquatch. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was tough to get.
I bet.
We're working on
I guess.
Smokey the Bear. It's Smokey the Bear's 80th birthday this year.
Really?
Really.
So he doesn't have a walker.
Forest fires.
See, there you go. I know.
You never know who could show up at the expo.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now let me ask you this, Brad. What did you do outdoors when you were growing up?
It's funny. Mark mentioned earlier creeks. So I had a creek in my backyard. We grew up in South County, and I think every day when it wasn't freezing outside, I was probably splashing around in that water. And then we had trails behind the creek in the woods there. They weren't professional trails. They were probably just old deer trails or something that we kids would go back in there, and we'd be lost for hours. And bless my parents for not sending out a search party or anything. It was it was the 80s and 70s, so I guess times were different. But yeah, that's how I got, I guess, interested in just being outside in general. And then I was fortunate. My mom, when we were in middle school, my sister and I took a job with a local outdoor summer camp. Actually, the camp itself was in Wisconsin, but the family that owned it was based here in Clayton, and so that's where their winter offices were. And as part of her employment there, the camp owners asked her if I would like to attend the camp when I was of age. And so I said, sure, why not give it a try? And I think the first year, like a lot of kids, I was probably a little hesitant, a little homesick, had to go through that whole process. But then the next 7 or 8 years, I was a camper there, and then I ended up working there for 3 years as a camp counselor, and it just changed my whole life. Wow. We camped, we paddled, we hiked, we biked, archery, softball, everything you think of as a summer camp, we did it there. But it was really just a coming of age, made great friends, really just changed my entire life. So that directly impacted my upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were hooked.
I was hooked, absolutely.
Hook, line, and sinker.
A lot of people don't know you can take some archery lessons at Forest Park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think MDC Missouri Department of Conservation offers an archery program. And I also know there's an archery range out in Valley Park right along the Merrimack Greenway there, which is probably underwater right now. So don't go there right now.
Don't ride that trail. So do you have a favorite? Is it biking? Is it hiking? Is it surfing or
I do.
Scuba diving?
I do. I'm a mountain biker for sure.
Oh,
so
you scare me. That scares me.
Yeah.
I have a friend that does that. And he just, I don't mean to interrupt, but he flies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, David, how do you not get hurt? It scares me when he tells me the stories about how fast he's going on his mountain bike. I can't imagine hitting a gully or something like that. I'm sorry, go ahead, friend.
It will happen. You do fall. That's part of it. You learn how to fall, like skiing. Eventually you're going to fall. And you could actually take clinics and classes with a number of local mountain bike groups. And they don't necessarily teach you how to fall, but they do teach you what they call bike body separation, which is a nice way of saying how to...
You're flying through the air?
Yeah.
You're going to hit a tree?
It also applies to things like turns and going downhill. You want to get out of your seat and up onto your feet, and that's bike body separation. But it also does apply to falling.
Right.
But, you get safer as you get more experienced at biking when things look tricky, look perhaps a little sketchy. So it's not as bad as it might seem.
Okay.
But eventually you probably will fall. I run as well. I think I fall just as much running as I do biking.
Oh, wow. I think that would hurt more myself.
Maybe I'm just a spaz. I don't know, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Tillis Park has some pretty decent mountain biking.
In Tillis Park, I know.
Maybe not mountain biking, but when I rode out there on my regular bike, I was like, this isn't really for the bike that I'm on.
Yeah, Forest Park has some nice biking trails, and they do actually have some off-road trails that I think are back in some of the greener areas. I don't know if those are, again, official trails, but I know people use them. And then Carondelet Park, which is still also in the city limits, is the first city-based park that has a official mountain bike trail there.
Really?
Yeah, so it was built over the course of the last year by a local group of mountain bike advocates.
I had no idea.
I thought that was fairly flat.
It's not a super hilly trail. It's about a mile, maybe 2 miles at this point. There was a phase 1 and a phase 2. I know phase 1 is done. I think phase 2 will make it 2 miles.
Okay.
And two concentric loops with a connector between. And yeah, it's not a great elevation, not huge elevation, but the way they have built it does give it some up and down and some nice flowy parts.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that is happening all over, and I like to think that maybe that's St. Louis awakening to the fact that outdoor recreation is important, and it is something that can really add another aspect to the culture here in the city and the county, of course.
Totally.
So yeah, the more that we can build trails, whether it's hiking or biking or whatever, within the city limits, that just benefits everybody as far as I see.
Right.
And how can people get a copy of Terrain magazine? Is there a sign-up list or something? Is it free? Is it electronic? Is it print? What is it?
It's all of the above, but I'll explain. Yeah, we do offer a free digital magazine, so you can sign up for that on our website. There's a sign-up area box, whatever you want to call it, right there on the website. You would get the magazine electronic version every other month right into your inbox. You can also pick up the print magazine at stores, locations around St. Louis. We have 300 locations that we serve around the state. In St. Louis, I want to say there's probably 150 or more of those locations. So you want to look at running stores, bike shops, any other sort of outfitter like an Alpine shop. But then we're also at a number of fitness centers, brew pubs, just gathering places where we feel like the outdoor community would. If you would like to find those locations, if you go to our website, there's a page you can click on that says magazine. And it has a list of all the locations, so you don't have to go out and search. You could find one online and then go and get the magazine there. And then if you like, you can also subscribe for an in-home subscription. So that's $20 a year. You're mainly paying for postage and a little bit of the print cost, but then it's going to come right to your home in your mailbox every other month.
Great stories. Here's some of the stories, Mark. We tried out a fully loaded camper van. Here's what happened. 3 items to upgrade your indoor cycling training. Ask Muddy Mike about getting started. These world-class athletes call the Lake of the Ozarks home. They talk about 10 outdoorsy gifts for everyone in your life. Just a whole variety of kinds of things.
Love all that
It's
stuff.
really cool.
Yeah.
You and I need to sign up, Mark.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna. There's no question I'm
Because
gonna.
we like to do outdoor kinds of things.
Yeah.
we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you in the magazine. When you want to take on that new activity, let us know.
Is it that spa with Santa and the fly fishing?
Maybe that's it.
yeah.
You can write a great column about that.
Oh my God, this is not gonna...
The time I met Santa and Sasquatch in a hot tub.
A first.
Okay. That'll be
A
great.
first. Brad, we thank you for coming in. You can stay and listen to the rest of the show. I have some special treats for Mark here.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm
Some
happy to.
Special audio treats. But, folks, you need to get to the Gateway Outdoor Expo Saturday, November 23rd, 10 o'clock to 5 p.m. Sunday, November 24th, 10 o'clock to 4 p.m. at the St. Charles Convention Center in St. Charles, Missouri. Get more information, go to gatewayoutdoorexpo.com.
I love this. Thank you. That's great. Yep. Website one more time.
gatewayoutdoorexpo.com.
All right. No, there, but the organization's website. The dash.
Terrain Magazine.
Terrain,
yeah, Terrain.
That's terrain-mag.com.
Okay.
Terrain-mag. And then River City Foundation is rivercityfdn.org.
So we got an org and a com in there. Okay.
And
Guys,
you can
thanks
get
for
all
having
those.
me. Much appreciate it.
Yeah. It's fun to get these events out there to the public. And I want to mention again, free parking, folks. Don't have to worry about that. Bring the kids. It's very family friendly. And there'll be food out there, I presume.
They have concessions at the convention center.
Okay.
Yes, and then there'll probably be some sampling from some of the vendors too.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And
right.
how many vendors are going to be there?
We expect 150 plus booths.
Wow.
That's huge.
It is. That's a
It's gonna
lot of
be
people.
packed.
Yeah.
They'll be packed in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot for. I'm hoping you get
Especially
like.
with Sasquatch there.
Oh yeah, maybe 10,000 people there.
Oh.
We'll have 10,000 sightings of
I
Sasquatch.
love that.
So our word of the day
Oh, here we go.
is a cappella.
Oh, that's a singing thing, isn't it?
Yes, when a song is performed a cappella, it is sung unaccompanied. No instrumental music.
Oh.
It's all voices. So we have some examples.
Oh, we do.
Yes, number one.
Okay. Love it.
I chose this group. It's called Voctive because they do a lot of Disney songs, Mark.
Do they?
And you love Disney songs.
I do. Did you know the Dorothy's ruby slippers were just found? I guess they were stolen for years.
Yes, that's correct.
And they just recovered them, and they're going to put them up on the auction block.
Oh.
And I guess there's a Wizard of Oz museum that is, I guess they have them on display now temporarily. And also, we're in November when we record this, and I think it was released originally in November.
I think you're correct.
So all this is just intertwined.
That's right. That's
this
right.
all connects.
Now, for those of you who think, and there's a lot of a cappella groups out there. There's tons of them. There's some that sing strictly what I would call classical kinds of music. Some sing pop. Voctive sings variety. Because of Disney, I chose them. Here's another one. You probably know this group.
All right.
O2. Nope.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Everything is all right.
There are stars in the southern sky, southward as you go. There is moonlight and moss in the trees. Down the seven bridges roll.
Wow.
Now, the Eagles. Now, they usually did that as a warm-up before they went on stage.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do Seven Bridges Road song. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of instrumental stuff, but it deals with a cappella.
Right.
And then there's always a Star Spangled Banner version and this one it makes the hair on the back of my neck, not on my head.
Okay.
The hair on the back of my neck
that would be tough.
Stand up at the end. So
here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
If they don't get the hair on the back of your neck standing up.
I don't know what will. That's right. Wow.
Yeah, and that is so hard to do, to sing that in tune. And I know that because I'm a musician.
Yeah.
And that is tough.
Wow.
Now, there's some groups, they sing a cappella. They'll do the, 613 that we've had on several times.
Right.
They'll do do all the instruments. And that another one, Take Six, does that too. A lot of groups out there. It's just fun to listen to where you don't have any instrumental accompaniment. Now, I have to ask Brad, when you were at Lindbergh High School, did you sing in choir?
I did not.
Did you play an instrument?
I played the trumpet.
Oh, was Lowell Bruner your director?
No.
Bob Spiegelman?
That sounds familiar, but it's been a long time.
You played?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
Trumpet.
Trumpet.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that was middle school. I think by the time I got to high school, I may have opted out of orchestra.
Okay.
I had Mr. Zink.
Okay. So you can appreciate this, what we were playing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny about the Eagles, Seven Bridges Road, I will sing that to myself. And like when it comes on the radio, I am in there singing it. I'm
you
sure
singing
it's
the melody or
horrible.
singing one of the
I don't
harmony
know. I don't know what I'm singing. And I'm sure if it was isolated, it would be, people would be clicking off the radio. But I cannot help but try to get in there.
Yeah.
It's fun when you got somebody by themselves and you hear them singing. And it's like, what in the world? And they've got headphones on.
Yeah.
And they're singing with the headphones. Or people singing in the car.
Yes. Yes. I enjoy that a lot. Just watching people do that. You need to roll the window down and do it, though.
Yeah. That's how I learned to sing harmony. Is you listen to like songs like the Eagles.
And you sing harmony with them?
America. Yeah, you sing harmony with them.
America was really good. That was
Yes.
a great group for that stuff.
So I did that for you, Mark.
I
The Voctive group. So because they do a ton of Disney stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our word for the day, folks, acapella.
Of course it is. As it should be.
As it should be.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have any days of the day, Mark?
I have a couple. One is probably your favorite. Okay.
Okay.
It's National Men Make Dinner Day.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did.
See, so this is legit. This is
Right.
a legit part of the show.
Right.
I know. It says men take the lead, get in there, and whip up something nice. I'm not sure I could do that.
If you get good recipes and get some good ingredients, you're okay.
And it says this particular day has been shared over 6,000 times.
Wow. It could be, for me,
I
it's
think
every
my
day.
wife is probably sharing that with people.
Yeah.
Maria.
I love to cook.
You do.
Yeah.
I know. I've been to your house before,
Yeah.
or your condo, or
Yeah.
whatever
It's
that
fun to
thing
cook.
is, that high-rise thing you live in.
Yeah. The apartment in the sky.
International Stout Day. Do you like stout beer?
Stout beer.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
I hate to say, there are probably people that are going to beat me up for that. National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. Not sure about that one at all. I know. I shouldn't tell you. It's Hug a Bear Day. Hug a Bear. Did you have a teddy bear when you were growing up?
When I was very young.
Did you?
Yes.
I have a story about it. I was in an orphanage. I was in an adopted child that later on in life. I never had a teddy bear, ever. And I was telling my kids about it a few years back. And what did they do? They got me a teddy bear.
Oh, cool. Did you name your teddy bear?
Teddy Boo.
Teddy bear?
Teddy bear is Teddy Boo. And I still have Teddy Boo.
Okay.
Yeah. So they
Is he here today?
not today, but he is at home.
Support bear.
Yeah, support bear.
Yeah, he's my support,
Your support
bear.
teddy.
I know. So I think that's very sweet that the boys did that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's cool.
Let's see. National Cashback Day. I don't know about that. We don't have a whole lot. Notary Public Day. Project Manager Day. I'm saying why? These are all pretty boring, I think. There's a couple of more. Oh, National STEM Day.
Science, technology, that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
engineering and math.
Engineering, math, and you add the arts in there, it'd be STEAM Day.
STEAM. Oh, I'm not good with that. Cook something bold and pungent day.
Oh, that kind of goes with the first one you talked about.
Let's see. International Day of Radiology. Okay. National Dunce Day. All right. National Cappuccino Day.
Oh.
You're slipping. Yeah, I know. You didn't bring cappuccino in today. Harvey Wallbanger Day. Never had a Harvey Wall. Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Never.
Don't care to.
National Parents as Teachers Day.
Oh, which started in the state of Missouri.
Is that a fact?
Yes, and then went national.
Who knew?
Yes.
Really?
Started under, I think it was then Governor Christopher Kit Bond.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
He got elected.
To senator then.
Yeah. Wasn't he was governor, then he got beat by Walking Joe
Teasdale, who
and then
died, and then,
Then he came back.
Yeah.
And took it on again.
yep.
He was a mad governor. He was mad about that loss. I remember that. World Pianist Day. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
All right.
Yeah, there's others too, like Talk Money Day.
Just a potpourri of
You have a
days.
potpourri of days. That's correct. Too many days.
Okay.
Who can keep
Do you
up?
like, I love mangoes. Do you like mangoes?
Yes, please. Mango
So my
away.
dad bought 15 mangoes and didn't tell my mom, so she bought 10 mangoes, and now we are the people from the math problems. For those of you that don't get that, my dad bought 15 mangoes and my mom bought 10 mangoes. How many mangoes do we have?
Yeah, you should have left when you had the chance.
Yesterday, I wore something from 5 years ago, and it actually fit. So I'm very proud of myself. It was a scarf.
Wow. This is how it's going to be, isn't it?
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. The first rule of cleaning while listening to music, the toilet brush is never the microphone.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that hurts. Just to hear it.
And folks, don't let anyone ruin your day. You're an adult. Do it yourself. My wife said, that's the fourth time you've gone back for dessert. Doesn't it embarrass you? I said, no, I keep telling them it's for you. A woman visits her husband in prison.
There's more.
Before leaving, she tells a correction officer, you shouldn't make my husband work like that. He's exhausted. The officer laughs and says, are you kidding? He just eats and sleeps and stays in his cell. The wife replies, he just told me he's been digging a tunnel for months.
Wow. These are worse than dad jokes. You know that, right?
Told my boss I was going to the bathroom, but didn't say which one. I'm now at home. Now, Brad will like this one. It's because it's a fitness one.
Don't bet on it. Okay, go ahead.
This was seen outside the 24 Fitness, not just 24 Fitness. This is a joke, folks. Okay. Tired of being fat and ugly? Just be ugly. 24 Fitness.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, Lordy.
Shazam. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to the collection now. Okay, here we go. A man is suing Smartwater for not making him smart, and I'd like to formally announce my lawsuit against Thin Mints. And unless he wears diapers, folks, you can't change him.
Wrong. No.
Okay, let's see.
I think we're running out of time, even if we're not.
Now, here are some nicknames for coworkers. We've shared this before, but this is always a good one. We'll end with this one. Oh. Lava lamp. Looks good, but not very bright. Deck chair. Folds under pressure. Dr. Doolittle. The name says it all. 007. Zero motivation, zero skills, 7 bathroom breaks. G-spot can never be found. Okay. I have a whole slug of these on stupid.
Do you really? Okay.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying you've got bad luck when it comes to thinking.
Oh, no. Wow. Wow. They're turning us off all over town.
Okay.
People want to hear the next thing you do, I'm sure.
Remember, if you work hard enough at your job, you get to do other people's work too.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
I get that. I've been there, done that.
We'll stop there, folks.
Okay.
We thank you for being with us today. Let's see if I can. Brad has my paper with my extra on it, but I will. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, here we go. Hey, thank you, Brad. It says here, thanks. Thank you, folks. That's all for this hour.
Thank goodness.
If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlandtune.com. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and continue to grow. I want to thank Bob Berthasell for our theme music, our guest Brad Kovach, and co-host Mark Langston. We thank you for being a part of our community of curious minds. St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning, walk worthy, and let your light shine. For St. Louis in Tune, I'm Arnold Stricker.